welcome back to Just an Everyday Fan. So, Caitlin Clark just played her first game back against the Golden Gate Valkyries. So how did things go? Does Caitlin have her groove back? Well, I think we knew that this was going to take some time. This was a very physical game for Caitlin. They were on her hard. Going into the game, both teams were 9-9. So 9 wins, 9 losses. I was just kind of wondering how Caitlin was going to do, especially with Stephanie White. How she was going to make her play, and if she was going to actually let her play her game. Was she going to force the old guard motion, or was she going to let Caitlin go in for her 3 points and her logos? Now, in her pregame interview that I watched, Caitlin made a comment when asked about her injuries, and I thought this was kind of strange. She mentioned something to the effect of she wasn't playing golf because that wouldn't be good for her back. So are we dealing with a circumstantial lower back injury because of the compensation for maybe the groin or the quad injury? Is this something they were keeping secret because they are very physical with Caitlin, and maybe with a tender back that could cause some issues? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I do know that I saw her sitting on her foam cushion. Not that that would do any good. It's just a air foam cushion. It's just like a square. I don't know how much good that actually does. So I don't know if they're keeping quiet about this, if it is a back injury, if it's not a back injury. But I know that it was probably not something that the team would have wanted everyone to know, with how Caitlin is being pursued and almost assaulted in every game. So I was wondering I was nervous actually how Caitlin was going to play, because on her last games before she went out, we just kind of saw that she had lost that loving feeling of those logos and 3 points. Like, she had lost her groove. For those of you who don't know, please turn it off, because it was a horrible outcome. The Valkyries dynamically outplayed the Fever in every way possible. They took the win for an 80-61 loss for the Fever. I do know the Fever, they were having issues with their 3 points. They just weren't connecting. The whole team wasn't connecting. Let's do this. Let's go to some of the stats for the game. They just brought these up. So let's look at the Indiana Fever. So I was concerned with Caitlin Clark. She made 12 field goal attempts, meaning 12 shots. She only made 4. That's shooting at a 33% from her field goal. She made 5 attempts at her 3-pointers and only made 2, so that was a 40% there. She did get 5 rebounds, 6 assists, which is wonderful. She did have 4 turnovers. She had 1 steal, and she only put up 10 points in this game, and her plus minus was a -7. I'm sure she's going to come back, and I'm sure she was, she was playing limited minutes, but she played a lot of the game. I'm not going to lie, because this game turned out to be a very important game. The Valkyries were literally outplaying them on every end of the court. Let's look at some of the others. Natasha Howard. Almost everyone, and I do mean every player, was in a negative plus minus, except Dantis, which she was a 7 plus minus, and Sydney Colson, which they brought in at the very last, and she was a 2. During the game, we have Natasha Howard only put up 4 points. Aaliyah Boston only put up 6 points. Kelsey Mitchell, thank God, came in with the highest with 12 points. Ari McDonald put up 7 points. Lexi Hall, 5 points. Sophie, only 3 points. Someone who did have a great game was Michaela Timpson. She put up 10 points. So she attempted 9 field goals and made 5. So she was shooting at a 55%. She didn't have any 3-point attempts. She had 6 rebounds, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. That was amazing. So she was putting up points on both sides. So congratulations to her for tying with Caitlin Clark for the second and third place for the most points, with Kelsey Mitchell coming in on the first with 12 points. Now let's kind of look at, and I do believe, and I'm not certain on this, but I do believe the field goal percentage, the Fever, their field goal percentage was under 31%. I do believe that is a record low for the Fever. So this was a bad game. They put up 27 3-point attempts and only made 6. That was kind of how the game went the entire quarters 1 through 4. So let's look at the Valkyries. So we have a couple of people that made clearly made a difference. Kayla Thornton, she was putting up 3s. She was making all her baskets. Veronica Burton came in with 21 points. Thornton came in with 18 points. Those were your 2 top scoring. Kate Martin, 5. Fag Benley, 7. Tiffany Hayes, 6. And then you have some others. Well, congratulations to the Valkyries. They did what they were supposed to do, and they did it well. I tell you what, the Valkyries and the Mystics both have surprised me with the heart and the game that they are bringing for young teams. That I've got to tell you, it's amazing to watch both of these. I kind of got a little down on the Valkyries with how they handled the whole Van Loo situation, but at the end of the day, it's a business. I understand. So what's next for the Indiana Fever? Looks like we take on the Atlanta Dream on July 9th. So the Indiana Fever have moved to 9-10 in the regular season. So if you saw the game, what do you think? What do you think of Caitlin Clark's return? Do you think she did well? I think she did well. There were some moments where it was just hold your breath moments because they were all over Caitlin. They were very physical with her. At one point, she slipped and fell on to the court, and I was holding my breath. I was just hoping she was not going to come up injured. I know that she is going to be most likely with the PT and the therapist and doing a lot of stuff, and she's going to have a sore couple of days after this game. I think she did well transitioning back in. It's hard to sit out and just start a game, and she played Caitlin Clark played almost 25 minutes. That's huge for coming back in. I didn't think she would get that many minutes. Kelsey Mitchell play almost 30. Elia Boston 26 and some change. Ari McDonald came in at 17 and some change. So Sophie Cunningham 20 minutes. So Caitlin Clark, she got more minutes than I thought she was going to get. I thought they were really going to transition her back in with maybe 5 minutes per quarter. But she played hard. We just, I think we're going to see her improve. Crossing my fingers. I hope we're going to see her get her groove back, come on in and improve, especially leading up to the All-Star game. We've got a tough game ahead of us with the Atlanta Dream. They're going to be a difficult team. It is what it is for this loss. It's a bad loss. It was a 19-point loss to a new team. Valkyries just outplayed them. And congratulations to the Valkyries and Fever. I know that it's all going to come together and we're gonna pull it out. Let me know in the comments below what you think of Caitlin Clark's comeback. How do you think she did if you were able to watch the game or watch it on replay? How do you think she did? And how do you think her injury looks? Until next time.